All right. Well, thanks for playing. So it is recording. Good times. Because if you can't make it here, I just want to give you kind of an idea of all of the things that are going on currently. So I am going to give about 2 minutes for anybody to sort of show up if they can. If they can't, it's okay. It's kind of was a last minute meeting. I was just tired of continuing to write all these weird ass updates because the minute I write something, it's different. So I was like, let's just tell you all where things are at, which is, it's not bad. It's good. Just wanted to tell you a couple of ways I'm going to restructure us a teeny bit to give us a lot more options for women to explore the performing arts a little bit. We'll still have our core dancers and stuff like that. I'll tell you what the max number of core dancers I have, and then we're going to be casting pieces again. So specifically getting you in specific numbers and understudying specific numbers. And each one of you, I definitely want you to just let me know what your maximum group number of being in is most feasible to you, because I don't want this to cause stress. This is not supposed to be stressful. This is supposed to be fun. And and I know that we can make that happen. And with some of the ways that I'm sort of structuring this at this point, I think we have a perfect opportunity to do that. So I'm going to ramble for another minute and look at all my gray hairs. Oh my God, look at this. It's insane. Anyway, so it's me and Courtney, y'all. But it's okay because I don't expect anything, like, because it was short notice, and I hope Laura slash Elisa's people are okay. I do worry about this heat and the older people.
Yeah, it's like 105 degrees.
I know. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'm not equipped for the heat, y'all. Just not. It's not my jam. It's not my jam. Okay, 8:05. So I'm going to go into it. A couple of things. So one, let's talk a little bit about how I am going to structure Follies Girls from here forward. So it's going to be split into three different groups. One is our core dancers, and the core dancers aren't going to have each one of you as a core dancer is going to be able to tell me if how many numbers you want to be in as a group numbers. You'll also tell me if you need to take leaves or things like that, or be out for shows or whatever. So basically, you're my primary dancers. You're the ones who are learning the actual choreography on Thursday nights. And you're also going to be cast in specific numbers to assure that we have people to cover those numbers. So depending on how many numbers you are comfortable with and you tell me you're comfortable with being cast in, you'll be cast in for that amount of numbers and possibly one additional like understudy part. The only reason that we will do it that way is because if we need to use somebody as an understudy, we need that option as well. And I will work with each one of you individually to make sure that this is definitely more manageable for you, your time, your needs, and all the stuff you want to do, because all of you are super important to me. And it's very important for me to make this a very joyful process and product. No, it's not a product. Project that we're all working on together. So instead of calling it just the Follies Girls, when I actually file for the 501(c), I'm going to be calling it the Follies Girls, and it's going to be called a dance and variety arts like project, or what, I don't know, something along those lines. But it's going to focus on the dance and the variety arts, and it's going to specifically deal with women of all ages finding a spot for themselves as a performance artist, not just dancers, but also exploring different performance arts as well. Dance is our primary kind of bread and butter. The core dancers will always be the showcase piece of Follies Girls. And that's definitely something important to know about, because that's what we were built upon. But as some of you already went through sort of like the apprentice program. The apprentice program is going to be very different moving forward. So the apprentice program is going to be for people who I see some potential in them, but I am not 100% sure it's necessarily dance. So it's going to have them come a lot more on Tuesday nights to get used to learning choreography in a jazz setting, because I'll be running these jazz workshops on Tuesday nights starting next month. And it also allows me an opportunity to talk to them and see if, for example, Hannah, who came to that last thing, I think she's got a lot of potential to be a actual performing artist, with her cosplay and stuff like that. I think she'd be amazing at solo work. She's got a lot of good personality. I think she's got a lot of skills. Um, I just don't know if she had the dance knowledge that maybe we needed her to have to be able to keep pace with the amount of choreography that we would do in a short amount of time. And that's not to say that she couldn't work up to that. I think she would have that potential, but it would also allow me to help her explore, does she really want to be like a group dancer, or does she want to be an individual player? When you're an individual player or performer or a specialty performer, basically no one's going to tell you that you've done anything wrong, or no one's going to know, because you're the only person dancing, or you're the only person pantomiming, you're the only person juggling, you're the only person who knows what's going on, except for maybe me. If I've seen the act. If I haven't seen the act, then I won't even know what the hell's going on. I'll be like, well, look at that, that was good. um, so the apprentice program now is going to be more for people that I'm not 100% sure that dance is their fit, but more or less fit within the specialty performing or within our crew. Some people are really into costuming, things along those lines. I'd like to give them a home too, and sort of have that role where they'll get paid for shows and things like that. So I kind of really want to build it out as a sort of a women-driven organization. And that doesn't mean we won't have male specialty performers. We will. But those people are more or less our extras. They're not really where we get our primary entertainment source from. That comes from us as the women. And I really want to make it accepting to women of all ages, from, the youngest being 18 all the way up to however the hell old you want to be to dance. I don't care. If you can keep up and do it, let's do it. Make it happen. I plan to dance until I can't dance anymore. So that's my goal. I'm also actively getting myself, and I hope you guys have noticed this, but I've been a little more physically active in our rehearsals lately. I'm working to get my body back in shape, stamina wise, which is good. For some reason, I can't get rid of this apron belly. Thanks, perimenopause. Fantastic. Love it. Never had it before. It's great. I hate it. Anyway, so I think the way that the structure is going to go is we're always going to have 13 principal core dancers. And that allows me to flex people in and out of numbers. That also allows me to have enough people in the numbers for 4 numbers per show, as bookends. In other words, the first act would be an opening number and a closing number of the first act. The second act would be an opening and a closing, which would be all of the Follies girls group numbers. What I'll do is when I post the songs that we're going to be using, I'm going to ask you to vote on which ones you are most interested in being in. I cannot guarantee that everyone's going to get their first choices, but I will do my best to try to make sure everyone gets at least one of their first 2. And then the other one, you might be stuck doing something you're like, not crazy about, but we love you anyway. Okay. Guarantee. Oh, she's opening shit on.
Sorry, friend.
It's okay. So long story short is, we're going to have that. We're going to have our core dancers. We're going to have our company performers, which are our specialty performers, soloists, and all those of us who are dancers who also do specialty performing as well. Then we'll also have the apprentices. And they're going to be a little bit longer of a journey because I want them to know exactly where they're going to fit in. So it's probably going to take the entire fall for them to find their niche and help them develop themselves as performers or dancers or whatever they're looking for. So the biggest thing on everybody's mind probably is the Halloween show. Okay, so Halloween show. Obviously we don't want to compete with Pride Fest. It's just going to be really hard to get a lot of attendance at that point. We still have that booking on our calendar within Maryville. We could keep that position, or I have kind of hustled butt and I have asked Danielle, AKA Shy, to make some phone calls today for other venues and things along those lines. I did find one venue that is open to us coming and doing, it's a little hole in the wall, very new venue, very small. It can hold up to 50 people. It's basically in a basement, it looks like to me. But if it's a Halloween show, that's not a bad deal. One of the things they are willing to book us for the Thursday of the performance and that Friday night. The only issue right now is to book it, I have to put in a deposit of $600. Obviously, we hope to recoup that cost with ticket sales and things along those lines. I don't necessarily have $600 just laying around. So if you have some money that you would like to chip in to at least get it booked, I will pay you back for that. I just need to space it out a little bit because obviously I just can't chuck down $300 into 2 weeks. I just can't do it. I just don't have it. If I had any man in my life, I probably could at this point, but I do not. And I don't want to depend upon a man. So that's kind of where I'm at. So this venue is an option for us. The Emporium would have been an option. Unfortunately, the person who had a hold on the 11th had just today confirmed that they were needing the 11th. So we lost that one, which is fine. But I did talk to the Emporium about getting on their books for both our March show for 2025 and our next year's Halloween show. And I have those dates as well. So those dates are held for us and secured. So we have the Emporium for both of those two important shows. So that's the biggest news. Obviously, I want my core dancers to have the ability to take rests and take breaks when they need to. And I was doing a lot of little work this week to kind of make sure that we had everything covered for upcoming performances, and we do. I cherish and value each one of you for your dedication to the project and what you guys do and the amount of work you put in. It means the world to me. And I will always try to make things work. It may take me a couple of days to figure something out, but I'm always going to figure it out. So don't worry about that. And feel free to take rests. Just always be in communication with me. And I have appreciated everyone who has needed to take some breaks and leaves because you've been very, very communicative with me. And know that I have your interests at heart and that I am actively working on making this a very doable addition to your life that shouldn't cause stress. And that is just having honest conversations with me and yourself over what is a doable, workable goal for you. If that means you come and dance on Thursday nights in the scheduled numbers that you're scheduled for, and you have the other Thursday nights off, that's totally fine. If that means not taking on a special project on top of that, that's totally fine. I am somewhat blessed in that my 4 fur kids don't really care if I'm working. I mean, they care, but they're, as long as they can put their head on me when I'm sitting on the couch doing my stuff, they're pretty happy. I don't have to drive them to soccer practices or other events like that. So I'm blessed to have a little more time on my hands. Obviously, with running a business, I don't have a ton of time on my hands, but the truth of the matter is this project extremely important to me, and I don't want it to lose traction. This has been a building year for us. I think it's been a very good building year. I think we're learning some valuable lessons about um, adult dancers' capacity and what we can handle and what we can't based on whether we have children or whether we are full-time employees and have children, or we're full-time employees without partners, or we are, whatever position we find ourselves in. I want us to be able to still have this opportunity to perform and to dance and to have fun with this. And I think that's where we're headed. So I'm really excited about that. I may eventually increase the core dancers to 15, just because if we have maybe 3 people on a leave of absence, then that allows me to have at least 12 other people to utilize in other positions. So I may go up to 15. We won't have 15 people in the studio at one time, so don't worry about that. You will be cast in specific numbers. And we will still foster that camaraderie that I know that we can. And that'll be like us talking and sharing things in band, and probably having some nights of just like hangouts and things like that. One of the things I also would love us to do is have a Follies alumni kind of night where people who used to be in the Follies girls can come and just break bread together and hang out and just see how everyone's doing and things along those lines. And that would be reaching out to people from our past and inviting them as well. Ideally, what I would dream of in my future, if you had asked me where I'd like to be in 5 years, I would love for one of the numbers in our Women's Month show to be one that any ex-Follies member could actually come and learn very quickly, and any former Follies member could do on that show. I think that would be a real nice gift to our past and our present and our future. So that's the big stuff. I will put a link to this taping so that you'll be able to watch it. I'll also see if anyone is willing to chip in for the down payment on the $600 rental for our Halloween show on the 11th, along with the night before, which will give us plenty of time to make sure we can set up that night before and then have our show the next day, which is really ideal. And please know whatever you contribute to it, you will get paid back. Even if I have to divvy it out weekly, everyone will get paid back from whatever they put into it, because obviously it's an unexpected expense for us, especially for me, but I don't want to not do our Halloween show. I think that's important because knowing that we'll have a good venue for it next year is super important to me as well. We will still have our small shows at the studio. I have a ticketing that actually has your seat selection, so people be able to choose their seats. I don't know what she's making. She looks like she's making pudding.
It's an espresso martini.
Oh, okay, cool. She's making an espresso martini glass. Very nice.
It does kind of like pudding.
It does look like pudding. Anyway, so that is all of the news that's fit to print. If you can make a plan to be in the studio a Thursday coming up, even if you are on a small leave of absence, I do need to get a couple of measurements for different costuming needs as we start to develop costuming for not just this show coming up, but shows coming up in the rest of the year. So if you can stop in so that I can get measurements for you, that would be fantastic. Just touch base with me. Feel free to DM me or send me a text and let me know what you need or how I can support you best. And I am going to get in the habit of putting all of our dates on our calendar, and then just adding what's going to happen maybe the week before, like the week of where our roll call is. So if you have any questions, the main points to take away from this are that I am expanding our kind of reach a little bit as the Follies girls, between our core dancers who would be known as the Follies girls to different divisions to allow women to explore the performing arts and variety entertainment. And we may have a venue for the 11th. But I need help just getting it secured, and then I can get that completely taken care of for us. So let me know your thoughts, suggestions, and whatever. And I hope you guys have a great night. And please know that we are always tirelessly working. Who's we? I'm always tirelessly working for you guys and asking for help when I need it. And I appreciate all that you guys do and all of the commitment that you show to this as well. It means the world to me. And I'm glad to have you guys on the journey. So love you guys. This is Nipsey/Anna signing off. Have a great rest of your night. And I look forward to seeing some of you on Thursday. Talk to you soon. Why do my lips look purple? I don't know.